We have been joined by Honorable
Robin
Faley, who has launched his Operation No Runoff bid for President Bill ahead of the general elections in June. He's here to talk on that, among other things. Good morning, Honorable. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Vivian, and good morning.
First off, has ECSL declared the campaign period open?
No, not officially, but I think you can manifest what you feel. Like saying, as long as you don't cross the line.
Okay. Where do we draw the line between the manifestation and campaign?
Well, manifestation is about expressing your opinion, your candid opinion about what your vision is, and you can share that with the people. And then campaign is taking, the proactive role by trying to start to market somebody.
Several shades of grey there, but let's look at your Operation No Runoff campaign. What has inspired that level of confidence that there would be no runoff in the June 2023 elections?
Yeah, thanks very much, and Vivian. I think I've been in politics for some time now, being a former member of parliament, representing Kaila on constituency 007, and 2007 to 2012, and I also became a very senior member of the party, and I rose to the level of representing, being chairman of the Youth Mobilization Committee of the party, and I also joined the All People's Congress party, and I rose to a very senior level as one of the deputy publicity secretaries, and one of the major strategists in the party that actually gave Anes Baikroma a second term by contributing immensely in my constituency, where they used to get less than 5% of the votes cast to over 33 to 35%. I think I've been in the political platform for a while now. I've been monitoring situations as they are unfolding. I think in a very strong position to determine, to actually comment and to actually determine what the political dynamics is going to be. I've been watching very closely. I was in the All People's Congress Party, and we failed woefully in terms of presenting a very strong opposition. In democracy, the opposition stands at a very plays a critical role in checkmating what the government does. And how can you do that? It's by having a good leadership, organizing your party, making sure that you're becoming more functional and becoming more critical in checkmating what the ruling government is doing. We failed to do that. And when some people like us criticized and also decided to be very critical about what was unfolding in our party, we were attacked physically and insulted. So after reflection,
I'm still curious though, in a situation where it's not all songs of praise in every quarter for President Bio's administration, what's the source of your confidence that there would be no runoff?
Thank you very much. First is I've been monitoring the development in terms of development, the strides that have been made, in terms of the laws, in terms of the policies. I've been monitoring that. There are challenges, but there are also very strong advantages and merits for the period that he has delivered. I'm just coming from the rural areas now. I've been out of the country for some time, and I came back. I've spent nearly all the period in Chibwema and other parts of the country. In terms of energy, electrification of rural communities, I think it has done exceptionally well. There's not a single chiefdom now, not just in the Kailan district, but in the Kenema and also other parts of the country that is not benefiting from rural solar electrification projects. We are talking also about roads and infrastructure developments. Well, there are a series of roads that we have started, and those have been completed. We have a series of bridges that we have started that commenced during the last dispensation, and those have been completed. And there are new roads and new other projects that have been that are currently being presented and implemented that are transforming the lives of people. Let us also talk about education. Education, I know that there are challenges, but there are enormous progress being made in terms of universities being open, in terms of restructuring the policies of education in the country. And we are also seeing the issue of gender empowerment. We are seeing tremendous impact in terms of laws being made to empower women, and also in terms of freedom of expression, in terms of the media, laws are being made now, So I think in terms of rebranding the country, we saw all what's happened in America when he went over. So some of us have been watching closely, and after critically assessing his performance, I strongly feel that the opposition where I was do not have a platform now, because one, we are not still organized. Two, we don't still have a leadership. Three, we are not performing as a main opposition to be checkmating the ruling government. So to me, instead of us wasting time, because all what we have been contemplating on in the opposition is about, destructive opposition, insulting one another, physically attacking one another, no policies at all. We don't even have a system in place in parliament to make sure we provide a good opposition. Let's just say having a structure in the party office to make sure that people see us as an standard alternative. So having looked at all that, I realized that, and I'm very convinced that we do not currently have an opposition that will stand the time.
Honorable Robin Faley, by the way, let me compliment you. You look pretty good in that orange.
Thank you.
And blue.
But
let's get to talk about the messenger before we go to the message. Here you are, the messenger. I've had personal experience with you for, spanning over a decade, especially when. So let's go back when you were in Parliament under the ticket of the SLPP.
Correct.
At some point, you described then candidate Julius Maada Bio as the Messi, and he wanted how Robinho and Messi would be on the same pitch and all of that, but we see that didn't happen. You left, you joined the APC, and there were issues. The APC brought you on board, and then later you parted ways with the APC back to the SLPP. So the question of who brings the message to the people of Shebuyoma?
Correct.
First off, have you been able to restore that trust, that confidence in your people when you go to front them and tell them that, oh, now I am a SLPP, and the people believe and trust that, oh, it can be, is reliable. Correct. Have you done that?
Absolutely. I think, as you rightly said, you've been following my political trade for a while. Since I was in Parliament, after Parliament, my time in the period in the All People's Congress Party, I believe in consultation. I'm a very good listener. I think a good leader should be a good listener. I engage, and my outreach political activities are very, 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 very strong, because it's only when you get closer to your people that you get what you want. I really wanted to resign from mainstream politics. I think I made that very clear, and that's why I went back to England and decided to get back into my profession. For the past 2 years, I've been very quiet, but monitoring situations. And since we were attacked the last time I went to Parliament, to APC head office with myself and Alfred Peter Conte, when Peter Conte wanted to explain to the people why he took the party to court. And when we went there, the Secretary General and others asked people to attack us. And that was the last time I went to the party office, because to me, I don't believe in decent politics in this country. Where people attack people's, personal lives, attacking them, insulting or giving invectives against your mom. I don't believe in that. I believe in healthy competition. If we are competing, let us compete healthily. And I believe that when you are part of an organization or a team, you should be vocal enough to see and to say what is wrong. There's no crime in saying what is wrong. Alfred stood very strong, took a very strong position to challenge the party, that there were issues that we needed to address. We needed to democratize the party. We needed to open the party, the political space, to make it more attractive, more admirable, and more inclusive. And when people like us supported that, because I took a very brave decision to resign from the national executive position and to support the clarion call for democratization of the party, some people saw that as a crime. And people were paid to insult people like us. And that's why I decided to take a backseat. And coming to the question you asked,
yes,
about my people, I decided to relax from mainstream politics. But my people call upon me that, Robin, you still have a space. Your period that you represent us in the Parliament, was one of the best ever in terms of representation, in terms of making good laws, in terms of taking parliament to the people. And I opened the political space for my people to understand that. And that gap has been there for many years. Now, they decided to ask me, no, please do not retire from politics. I said, what should I do? They said, come back to the party. If the APC is not willing to embrace people like you, if the APC is still using people to attack you, come back home. And after consultation, I decided that, okay, my home is my base. If it's politics, if it's football, that was the platform that I used to get into Main Street politics. So if they have appealed to me to come back home and to start to represent them, not in gaming, not in parliament, not necessarily in parliament, but to make sure that I push for development, that we should be united. As you rightly said, we are divided in my home. Myself, my elder brother John Benjamin, others, we are grossly divided. And that has impacted negatively on the socio-economic well-being of my people.
And that is what I want to ask. So Fabian asked earlier about your confidence in no runoff for President Bill. Looking at global politics, presidents all over the world are challenged in coming out with even campaign messages in terms of deliveries because of the economic situation of the world. Every government is economically challenged, financially constrained to deliver even on campaign promises, especially on the socio-economic front. Right. So where do you draw that inspiration, saying no runoff for President Julius Maada Bio, especially in a nation like Sierra Leone, where we continue to live in monumental abject poverty, majority of the people, development continues to be a challenge for many. You just mentioned the issue of electricity. Many people are still not, even the power supply in the capital city, I mean, it's interruptive. So where do you draw that inspiration of no runoff for President Julius Maada Bio?
That's where I am in better position to determine quite a lot. I never supported Julius Maada Bio, even when I was in the SLPP. I supported Andrew Kelly for many reasons, because one, I knew Andrew Kelly more, and then as a brother, he hailed from where I come from, and I decided that I should support him. But having looked at the performance of Julius Maada Bio over the years, I think he has impressed me, really. To be honest, I have to be very candid here. He has really impressed me on many fronts. As you rightly said, the whole world is going through a very challenging period economically. You look at the corona. After the corona, the whole economy of the world has collapsed. And there are challenges. You go to, I mean, considering America, even where I am now in the UK, you know, within 6 months, we change, you know, I mean, three prime ministers have resigned because of the challenges. So the challenges are there. But what has impressed me most is the way he has manifested himself, the way he has, you know, I mean, captained the ship in terms of the economy. Yes, the economy, there are challenges, but they're still paying salaries here. You look at the prices of commodities here, for example, rice, a bag of rice, a 50 kilogram kg bag of rice in the UK is over 40 pounds. 40 pounds is equivalent to over 1.6 million euros here. You look at the price of fuel. The price of fuel in the UK is very close to £2 a litre. £2 a litre is equivalent to very close to 44,000 euros here. And what is the price here? So, and also, if you look at the way his investments into human capital development, 22% of the budget has been put to that. And to me, when even he brought that particular part of his manifesto, I said, are you going to achieve this? To me, it was expensive, and to me, it was a very bold step. But he was very determined, and he has been very determined, and we have started to see significant improvements in the sector of education. We look at the roads, we look at the lights, the energy sector. Yes, we haven't got to the level that we all want, but there are significant improvements, particularly not just in the capital city, but also in the cities like Kenema, Bo, you know, Makeni, you know, and also rural communities. Kaila is going to have electricity very, very soon, you know. So to me, he has done exceptionally, particularly with the laws, the policies. For example, for the women, the gender empowerment bill has changed the dynamics in the whole world. Sierra Leone now is a model for empowerment of women. We are looking at the laws, you know, the libel laws, the church libel laws, you know, the way the freedom of expression. particularly the media, the relationship between the media and the government, I think also in terms of inclusive governance, bringing people, like look at Alpha Khan now. Alpha Khan very close to the ruling government, making sure that, he has realized the impact that Maada Bio has created. So to me, he has taken development to every corner of this country, irrespective of where people voted for him. So I think I just decided that we should not be destructively criticizing him because we are in opposition, but we should be constructive. We look at the strengths that he has, and we look at the limitations, and where people can come around. And people like us have got enormous impact we can create.
On what agenda are you running this campaign of no runoff for President Bio?
I just strongly feel that he needs to be given the support, because he has channeled and sailed the boat.
Is there a national agenda that
your campaign
speaks
to make sure I would market this to particularly the young people of this country to realize that, yes, he needs a second term.
Why?
Why? Because he has started on a very good footing. He has not achieved all what he wanted. All parts of his manifesto, out of 100%, within 4 years, I think he has done up to more than 70%. And if we are to rally around him, devoid of the party politics, but it takes Sierra Leone as a number one, the green, white, and blue, and to make sure that where the gaps are, a lot of us can come around and support him, and to make sure he lands the boat, the ship.
So even the message, and how do you guys consolidate or have a single message that cuts across? So, for example, you're saying even his manifesto promises, about 70% has been achieved. But you talk to other set of people, he has fulfilled all the manifesto promises. All he is doing now na bonus. So, how do we even get all of these things? So, at the end of the day, you bring out an agenda that would see President Julius Maada Bio re-elected as the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone come June 24th.
He's looking at, I've done the SWOT analysis, very constructive SWOT analysis on his performance, and I've looked at all the opposition, the particular political parties.
Right.
If you look at the main opposition, where I was a very key player, we failed woefully, in the sense that we do not even have an agenda, we don't still have a manifesto, we are not critiquing the government, we are not challenging the government in a very constructive way. All what we are doing is fighting each other, making sure that we are using events to describe or to disturb the peace and stability in the country. So we have not provided the opposition.
And you were accused as one of the problems.
Of course. I was part of the party.
Right.
And I stood very far, myself, Peter Conte, and a host of others, to make sure we democratize the party. We knew very well that there were certain areas, grey areas within the party, that if we wanted the party to become more marketable, that I can take it to Shegwema, I can take it to Kailau, I can take the party to Pujao and other areas, and people will come around to actually buy those ideas. We failed to do that. And in terms of corruption, most people that have been nailed now, or identified, or named in the Commission of Inquiry, came from our party. Some of us were only there. I never built a house within all the 8 years that I served in Parliament.
Our party, which party?
I was in the APC as a very strong member, but I'm no longer there now. But I was there, I was very instrumental, I was a key player. So I've been reflected on the way we perform. The issue of corruption is still, it still has dented the image of the party greatly. And this is a big shame. We need to really look at it now, and to revisit it again, and to recalibrate and realize, because a problem it's only a problem if you identify.
Honorable, I can't help but notice how you keep referring to the APC, our party.
It was my party, our party. I was in the party.
But you're
still in the party.
You're using our current, it's present tense, our party, and you're in the SLPP. Yeah. Is your membership in the SLPP currently certain and solid? I ask because you have a history of the SLPP, the APC, then the SLPP.
And I can still leave the SLPP again and decide to leave politics. Fabian, you were, the first time I started, you started engaging, you started engaging or interviewing me. Where were you? You were with Star TV. From there, you went to the SLPC. From there, you're here. So it's about life. It's not about permanent relationship. It's about how effective is that relationship.
Politics also, especially with the nature of politics practiced in Sierra Leone, comes with a sort of loyalty, which in itself, by extension, comes to judge the individual's credibility.
Absolutely. And that relates to every relationship or every institution that you work for. I can leave a job for £120,000 a year in England and take a job for £80,000. That's where I feel comfortable. I believe when I come to work, I should feel safe. I should feel happy that you can get the best out of me. But if I'm working with you or I'm in a relationship with you, Phoebe, and you're not getting what you expected, will you still continue to be in that relationship? You will continue to try to make sure it works. But if it doesn't work and it's affecting you mentally, psychologically, socially, emotionally, and will you stay still in that relationship?
We often hear it's about ideology.
Correct.
What's your own ideology?
My
that
ideology
has led you to make this decision of being here and there and here.
Yes. My ideology is about putting Sierra Leone first, making sure that we transform the country so that whether I'm in government or not, or whether I'm in position or not, as long as the country is peaceful and things are happening. I've been in opposition all my life.
And on that ideology, putting the nation first,
correct.
One might challenge you. Now that you're running on this bid for President Bio, no runoff, with the economic hardship, which is number one on the list of challenges faced by Sierra Leoneans across the board,
correct.
And other issues, and you say it's about putting the nation first.
Correct.
One might challenge you to say, even you, enhancing this bid, championing this bid of no runoff for President Bio, that's a facade.
To me, the whole world is going through a mess at the moment, financially, economically. I'm particularly in the UK where I'm working now. The economy has contracted by over 11%, very close to 11%. Sierra Leone, the economic challenges in the world are not just peculiar to the situation here. It's a global issue, and in the sense that, but our problem here, there were economic challenges before. We never had a very smooth economy. Things have been challenging. Difficulties have been there in terms of unemployment. The cost of living has been high before. But at the end of the day, they decided to manage it. But even when things are difficult, still, this government is making the effort to ensure that we have not gone into recession at all. We have not gone to the IMF to bail us out. We are still managing our economy in the way. So to me, as Sierra Leoneans, even though things are difficult, we should be proud that there are still commodities in the street. Take a drive to Liberia. Liberia, even the basic food, rice, is difficult to come by. The price of a bag of rice in Liberia, neighboring country, our neighbor here, is over $70. Whilst in Sierra Leone, it's just 550. So to me, things are difficult, but there are worse scenarios, there are worse cases in other countries. So I'm not saying our situation, we're happy with it, but together, if we all come together and put this dirty politics aside, the politics of destruction, the politics of bad-mouthing, the politics of hate, tribalism, regionalism, and make sure we come together and support the system, I think Sierra Leone will become a better place. Because so far, we've not provided any, the opposition has not provided any opposition. It's the most ineffective and inefficient opposition in the sub-region at the moment because of lack of leadership, because of lack of structures are not working, and because people are not listening to themselves. So how can you continue to be in a system where when you express yourself, you are being branded as a mole? When you express yourself to make sure democratic principles are being embedded in the facets of the party, you are being insulted and physically attacked. Will you continue to be in that relationship? No.
Are you moved by the power, surrounding yourself with the power? I ask because it seems the pattern is it's the party that is in power that you're aligning with.
I could have done that if I really somebody that's been moved by power. I would have crossed the ship long time ago. I would have been in the SPP immediately as APC lost power. But we decided to clean the party. We decided to work within the APC to make sure we make it more democratic. That is why I took a very brave move to resign from a national office as a national officer and to join the clarion call for the democratization of the party. But when people like us said that, bulldozers, like bulldozer in America, Afro Peter Content, and the likes of us decided to stand firm to change the dynamics within the party and make it more attractive. We are seen as bad people, attacked. And I said to myself, why am I getting this? I have a profession that is giving me money. I have a profession, I'm not dependent on, I'm not the sort of politician that's so dependent on state coffers now. I can live my life anytime. I've been in opposition, I was in opposition 2007 to 2012, and I was very hard in parliament as one of the best debaters. I never jumped ship. I was approached many times, I never did that. In 2012, because of the dynamics I saw, and I said, let us clean our party, and I was given, problems. At the end of the day, I was exonerated. I decided to relax. And the APC approached me.
Remind those who follow you, why did you leave the SLPP?
Of course, everybody knows that. That at the end of the day, it's behind us now. But we have all reflected that, yes, I was hurt. Yes, my issue was not managed properly. Yes, they've realized that, yes, Robin Faley was a very key player. And when you have a key player in the field, you have people who come to destroy that player. And that is what? And that's the politics of Sierra Leone, or in Africa, that I hate. If somebody is constructive, and somebody is a challenger, if somebody is very vocal, does that happen to be a crime now? Do you have to kill that person? Do you have to jail that person now? You have to learn from him or work with him and make sure you use it constructively. But in Sierra Leone or in other parts of Africa, it's dirty politics that is destroying us. People want to destroy Fabian because you have the skills to make sure you engage. What you have to do is by attracting Fabian, making sure your policies are being sold to her, and she buys the idea and pay her well, definitely she'll work for you and she'll work with you. And that is why you decided to leave Star TV. You decided to leave, and you're here. And I'm happy you're here over the years, and I'm monitoring that you've grown. So everybody wants that environment, that you're free to say what you want to say, without being accused of being, without being blackmailed, or without being, physically or verbally attacked. I think we have to have a democratic environment where people feel valued. People feel that they should express themselves, and that's what is lacking in the APC.
In this your bid now to champion this no runoff for President Bio, how do you hope to accomplish this when, again, not every quarter or sector of Sierra Leone is singing praises to the President Bio-led administration?
There's no perfect system. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. President Bio is not perfect. There is no perfect system in the world. But what we have to do is to reflect constructively and look at what we have. If we let's look at SWOT analysis on President Bio now, his strengths. I look at those who are aspiring in the main opposition. There's nobody there to stand President Bio, because he already has a policy. He also has a program, and he has started to implement those programs that people, despite the economic challenges, have started to buy. I've just launched this Operation No Runoff. Over 3,000 young men and women converged, and they were able to listen, to see. Let us see. I said, how have you seen his performance?
Let's go through some messages quickly on Facebook.
Correct.
Because of time, we will not be able to take many messages. Jungula Live is saying he has been in politics for a while, I can tell.
Dauda Kagbo says, please let us know why President Bio should be re-elected on no runoff base. Forget about APC, sell your candidate.
Frederick Domas is saying this guy must have not been living in Sierra Leone for him to make this blanket statement that President Bio is going to win the election in a landslide.
Abu Kanu says, Robin Faley, did you check the price of rice in Liberia before coming to lie to the people of Sierra Leone?
George Orwell is saying this political prostitution is what is killing our nation. When politicians are not sincere and lost integrity, the citizens suffer. All these will stop soon.
Kindo Sanko is saying, honestly, Samuel and Fabian, our politics is really in shambles because the politicians are really dishonest, selfish, and greedy. They only think of benefiting themselves, forgetting that Allah put them in the forefront to advocate for a population of more than 7 million. It really is a shame for fine gentlemen who are capable of changing the narratives of an institution instead of deciding to run away to rejoin, I beg your pardon, the ruling party. which long ago he has quit because of being into the opposition. This is a clear manifestation that these politicians only go into politics because of selfish gain. Why can't you change the system instead of you running away from the system and decide to jump into a system which you have run away from because a system? You jump here and there because if bad system, then you are a bad leader.
Hamid Al-Mustafa Akbar is saying, please let Honorable Robin Faley talk about the solutions. President Bio said in 2018 presidential debate that Sierra Leoneans were tired of buying a bag of rice at 200,000 old leons. Now we are buying a bag of rice at 600,000 old leons. Where is a Tomabom farm rice?
Abdul Rashid Dakona says, bravo to you, Honorable Robin Faley, aka RF7, for your job well done.
Jungle Alive, a political party and a politician must have a social ideology that aligns with their conscience. What is Mr. Faley's political ideology?
Amid Akbar is saying, you talk about togetherness, and President Bio and Ibrahim Swari are calling the party as Mendes SLPP. Do you know what is togetherness?
Few more messages. Abdul Rashid Dakona is saying, Honorable Robin Faley, the people of Kailaon District and the entire Eastern region appreciate your great effort towards nation building.
Des Agatin says, bad leadership is the toxic cancer in Sierra Leone.
One of the most campaign ever. You don't know how to put campaign words together. Gabel is saying that.
Alhaji Kebe says politics is dynamic. We should concentrate more on the policies, I beg your pardon, and ideology the individual or the political institution is propagating. Let's be respectful and accept that everyone has the right to belong to any political party of his or her choice.
My final message is from Osfriend Kamara, who is saying the reason why rice is a bit expensive here in the UK is due to its consumption rates. Here is low since it's not a staple food, meaning it doesn't make up a part of the population's diet. Importers, who are mostly Asians, tend to increase the price to fill the demand and purchase deficit from wholesale. Also, the price of a 20 kg bag of rice is less than 15th of the fraction of the basic salary, whilst in a sub-Saharan it's not reflecting on the gross household revenue as to the CPI. UK economic issues are due to sleaze corruption of economic indiscipline and other geopolitical issues they fail to implement as a result of inconsistency of policies. Developing countries must avoid political horse trading, which seems unreliable.
And my final message is from Victor Akomengot, who says, in politics, there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, but permanent interests.
All right. Honorable Robin Faley, let's allow you to respond to a few of them.
Thank you very much. This is the democracy that we want, where people express themselves without insulting other people. I think we have started to see that things have started to... The narratives have started to slightly change. It would have been before, people would have been insulting people, you know, and that is what some of us want to change in the politics of Sierra Leone, you know. The cost of, the price of commodities, basic commodities all over the world has increased astronomically. Because what? The cost of production has increased since after the corona. The cost of production has increased. In terms of freight, you know, sea freight has increased by over 200%. I produce tissues in the UK. I'm not marketing it now. I'm not promoting it now. But I'm just saying I have other things that I do despite politics. In 3 years ago, the price of the freight price for a 20-foot container was about $3,000. Now it's over $6,000, over 200% increase. That alone affects prices. And here, if you look at Sierra Leone, the rate at which we are importing is more than what we are exporting. The level of export is lower than the level of import. Right. And as such, if you are buying things from other people in dollars, based on the dollar rate, and based on the cost of production, based on the cost of freight, you have to have transfer that, you know, to the consumer. And that's why things are being expensive here. You look at the UK, the cost of freight for a 20-foot, 40-foot container from the UK, from China to the UK has increased to up to more than $10,000. You know, so to me, things are difficult all over the world. What we need to do now is to revisit and to recalibrate it again, come together to the drawing board and work and put Sierra Leone first. And that brings to mind the issue somebody was saying, people like me have jumped the ship from SAPP to APC and I'm back to SAPP. To be honest, I'm happy that the last text message came in to say there are no permanent friends, no permanent, even in relationship. I will be married to a lady today, we start having children, things are going fine, but at the end of the day, if things are happening, if that lady starts to cheat, and you've managed to manage the situation, are you still going to stay in that relationship? If that relationship is affecting you mentally, psychologically, and socially, are you still going to stay in that relationship? Until you kill somebody in the house, you have to move. You have to separate in the best interest of the children. And that is what politics is about. I came into politics to change the lives of my people. That's why if you took a drive to Sierra Leone, to Chibwema today, even a 10-year-old kid knows what Robin Faley has done to change the life of the common man and common woman. And that's what politics stands for. And when I decided to do that, I didn't just do it in my constituency or in my district because I believe in national character. I did the same in Puloko. In Puloko, I supported education. I did school feeding there, giving them learning and teaching materials. And today, I'm still a popular person there, very famous person there. Also, you live, you've known me for many years. You live in the western part of Freetown, in Godrich. People know what I've done in terms of water and sanitation over there, empowering young people. So to me, I'm in politics to change the lives of my people. And to me, I will not be part of an institution. The party is made up of people. You apply to join the party to make sure that you work together towards a common ideology to change the lives of people. But you're not there for people to insult your mom. You're not there for people to attack you physically. Are you going to continue to be there until you lose your life? No. The APC never opened the political space.
I'm afraid we're out of time.
In terms of tribalism, I don't believe in tribalism.
But take a minute to send a message to Sierra Leoneans.
The message is very clear. To me, it's about putting Sierra Leone first. President Julius Maada Bio has not achieved all what he had wanted to do because of the economic challenges. And some people like us, we feel that inclusive governance is what will make Sierra Leone a better place. And he has started to do that. He has started to implement that. He has started to showcase that by having people like Alpha Khan and others coming closer. And to me, I'm not there because of power. I'm not there because of money. I'm very content. I'm a very independent person financially and emotionally, and professionally. I'm here to support the system. I'm here to make sure with some of us that the youth listen to, we educate them to realize that it's not about tribal sentiment. One of the reasons I really, I hated in the APC was when they used people like Jibril Bangura and others to call the SAPP a Mendicrat. How many people are there that are not Mendes? Is Judah a Mende? Is Abbas Gundu a Mende? Is Abbas Wuri a Mende? Is Afatimbo a Mende? No. There are other people from other different tribes. Right. So if SAPP happens to do something that is wrong, that you actually, you don't like, you have to castigate the Mende tribe.
Thank you.
So let us take the political party discussions to another level. It's not about tribe, it's not about religion, it's not about region, it's about socio-economic enhancement. Thank you very much. And Madam has done that. So some of us are coming closer to make sure we work with him, and there will be no runoff for this election.